Hello, this is Edwin Epperson with Blue Bay Capital, and I wanted to thank you so much for checking out our broker page. We understand that there are a lot of brokers that struggle with issues with their lender, and what we have below is a platform that helps you as a broker be more professional, maintain communication, and be very clear and upfront and set the expectations for your borrowers here in the state of Florida. So one of the very first and most often problems that we hear brokers have is not clear communication from the lender to yourself as the broker, and that of course disrupts the flow of communication to your borrower or your client. The lender is not clear with their form of communication. Sometimes they'll call, sometimes they do an email, sometimes they text, and if it's not succinct and it's not all together in one platform, it can be very hard to follow up. And did the lender tell me this? And the lender's saying, well, we requested this information. You don't have an email. You don't have a text. Maybe it was a phone call. And so the lines of communication are not very clearly laid out. We have a platform that can solve that problem. And that goes from the lender to you as the broker. And then once that loan goes into underwriting, which is really ultimately the goal for every broker, is to get that loan into underwriting, because at that point, that loan should have met all of the lender's requirements. And now it's simply analyzing the loan from the lender's perspective, but there should be no more document requests or anything like that. So this helps smooth and shrink that process down to a very efficient state for you and your borrower. Another problem that we have seen personally is that it's hard for the borrower and you to understand exactly where the loan is in the process that the lender has. Are we in the application still? Are we processing the loan yet? Are we in underwriting? Do we have a clear to close? That's probably the most important question that every broker and real estate investor ask is, am I clear to close? Can we set a closing date? And there's, again, without the clear lines of communication, without a platform to let you and your client know exactly where that loan file is, it can lead to frustration, it can lead to miscommunication, and more importantly, it can lead to expectations that haven't been set from the lender to yourself, and then even then from yourself to your client. A third most common frustration that a lot of real estate investors have, as well as brokers, is that there's no clear indication of what documents are needed from the lender from day one. Literally from the time that they submit the documentation, why does a lender drag it out and wait 3 days before the loan is supposed to close and all of a sudden get back to you, the broker, or your client and say, oh, by the way, we need bank statements, or oh, by the way, we need this document, or oh, by the way, we need this. That's extremely frustrating, and quite frankly, it almost puts a bad taste not only in your mouth as the broker, but also your real estate investor, your client, because they just feel that the lenders do this on purpose to postpone closings, to not even close, and it creates an issue between yourself and your client, who is really, as the broker, your ultimate responsibility. So our platform allows that to be completely eliminated simply by the way that we've designed it. You know, and your borrower know from day one what documents to submit. Even if they don't have it, they have a list and they can start gathering those documents. You can start gathering those documents or helping your borrower gather those documents as soon as possible. The fourth problem that we have come across is the rates and terms are not clearly laid out. Well, with Blue Bay Capital, you know from the time that you submit your documents, your loan documents, exactly what the rates and terms are. We have done our best to take the guesswork out of the lending game, if you will, so that the communication between us, the lender, yourself as the broker, and your end client, the real estate investor, that line of communication is very clear across the board for all parties concerned. You know from day one exactly what the expectation is, and you can let your client know that as well. So my name is Edwin Epperson. I'm with Blue Bay Capital. I look forward to working with you. Below this video, you will see an application form for a broker. Now remember, if you are brokering non-owner occupied loans to real estate investors who are operating a business, even if they buy a single family residence, you as a broker are not required to have a license. And this is as of 2020. We will get you onboarded. We'll walk you through the process, and we will get you set up to immediately begin closing loans with your clients through Blue Bay Capital. Again, my name's Edwin Epperson. Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you very shortly.